Long look in from Gonzalez. There's a rise ball up and out of the zone. One ball, one strike to Jordan Gagnon. Looking to get the Redmen out on top and blows the rise ball by him there.
Just in there challenging him right now.
1-2, Martin Gonzalez, a pitch away from working out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam. And that would be a big morale booster here for Martin Gonzalez and the Chiefs if they can get out of this. This one is lifted out to left. Quentin Bruce going back and makes the grab 10 feet in front of the fence. They do work out of it, Joe Todd. Maybe a little bit of breeze might have helped that one, but not this morning. An eventful top of the first, but scoreless. We'll go to the home half with the Hill United Chiefs coming to the plate.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
Back here at Lions Ballpark, 75 Davis Street East in Simcoe, Ontario. It's the Chiefs Challenge. The United Chiefs looking to make it back to the championship game. There's the batting order. Shane Boland, Brad Ezekiel, Nick Shales, Bruno Matroni, Quentin Bruce, Tony Gonzalez, Edgar Lopez. We're going by Edgar Pipolo, being consigned to history. We're told Alan Pecker and Nick White, designated player, bring up the 9 spot. Boy, you got a lot of speed down there in the bottom of the order, Joe Todd. Defensively for the Redmen, Travis Nevins in left. In center field is Jordan Gagnon. Over in right, it's Zach DeMille. And then around the horn, Cam Vest moves over to third base from second yesterday. Métis Ricevi, Zach Green is at second. At first, it's Ryan Davis. Riley Sears behind the plate, and on the board, Steve Normand, borrowed from Grand Prairie Pirates for the weekend. And this is going to be a bit of a test, Joe Todd. Steve Normand in the pool for Team Canada. He is no slouch. Hard-throwing right-hander, big rise ball, good drop ball. This is going to be a challenge.
Pitched a real good game against the Townsend Tide in the semifinal spot for the number 4 spot in this pool.
So Shane Boland set to lead off, as he'll be in that spot, Joe. Pretty much a lock all season long for the Chiefs. Power, average, good speed. You're not going to get much small ball with Shane. He's not there for that.
No.
But everything else, he is up for. And you want some intensity and leadership? Got that in spades,
He's
too.
there. Good morning to his mother, Janet, probably listening.
Fouled off to the screen, off the hands. Well,
Watching.
It's afternoon now in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. But indeed, good afternoon to Janet Boland and everybody else tuning in Newfoundland. They've got a tournament of their own going on down there. St. John's Days tournament. Heard there was supposed to be an event in Calgary this weekend, Joe, but 5 degrees and rainy in Calgary this morning. Nobody's playing in that weather. Upstairs and in from Normand to Boland. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the Chiefs leadoff batter. Blair Setford, Joe Todd here on Softball Premier TV. If you're just getting in with us, where have you been? It's 7 minutes after 11. We started a little early. The Redmen loaded the bases with nobody out, but Martin Gonzalez worked out of that jam in the top of the first. We're now here in the bottom, and Shane Boland, the leadoff batter for the Hill United Chiefs.
Normand has to be very careful with this team. So you'll see a lot of pitches down and in, trying to jam the ball right on the hands.
Rise ball upstairs, and that's the bread and butter pitch for Steve Normand. And if he can go upstairs, Joe, down, and then come back with the rise ball to try and get a strikeout, that's going to be the pattern he'll work for. The challenge is to not leave it out over the plate.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of pitchers make the mistake of trying to pitch around the Chiefs and nibbling and things like that. Pitch your game. Make them hit your pitches. There's a changeup, and that's a fair ball, and a good job of hitting there by Bolin. He'll make the turn and then throw out the E-brake and make his way back to first. But he went down and got it. A good pitch, good hitters do what they do, and this hard infield, a lot of nights or afternoons even, that might just be into the glove of Cam Fess. But on this hard infield that goes over his head, stays fair, and Shane Boland aboard with a leadoff single. You got to play the conditions that you're dealt.
And as you mentioned, that was a good pitch, but Boland went down and got it. Way out of the strike zone.
In tight to Bradley Ezekiel. Brad, yesterday, their first two at-bats in the game against the Northeast Drillers did not look comfortable. Maybe seeing Jan Gonzalez for the first time. It went strikeout looking, strikeout swinging. I can't even remember the last time I saw Brad Ezekiel strike out twice in the same game. His third at bat, he drilled a single to right center. And then the fourth at bat, what do you think?
Yeah, downtown.
A long home run over the perimeter fence. That's Brad Ezekiel. Make the in-game adjustment, and 2 for 2 over the final at bats.
That was a good pitch there by Normand, trying to jam the hands of Ezekiel.
That one misses downstairs. Joe, I see the Toronto Batmen up early, 1-0 on the Northeast Drillers. You can follow that one on Game Changer. Northeast Drillers are on Game Changer and are covering that game live, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. 3-1 here to Brad Ezekiel. Shane Boland aboard with the leadoff single here, bottom of the first inning. And inside. And it just felt like he was trying to be a little bit too careful with Brad.
Yeah.
And that's the result, the walk. And I think you got to play to your strengths and not necessarily try to maneuver around the batters. You can't be too fine.
Yeah.
You can't make mistakes, but you can't be too fine either. And if you're too fine,
and a walk is a mistake.
A walk is a mistake. You got it. Nick Shales started like a house of fire, has cooled off a little bit, but not a lot. Still seeing the ball well, still hitting the ball well. Fouls this one, or not a foul ball, went off the glove. No fouls, is Daryl Helmer. And Daryl and Steve would know each other well. They would be in a lot of the same events out in Western Canada. Daryl Helmer from Calgary, Alberta. Some top teams here, Joe, and top umpires as well.
Yeah, a great crew put together.
Ed Otterman, the UIC for the Chiefs Challenge. A great job here with this blue crew. On the infield, Fess stops, looks, fires to first. A good job by Cam Fess. Some good defense over there. He struggled yesterday over at second base. They've moved him to third, and that was a nice play.
Great play by Fess just to pick up the ball. He stopped, took a quick peek, and then had plenty of time to fire a bullet over to first base. The first thing is catch the ball. The next thing is take a look and then fire.
And both the runners had moved up 60 feet on what we thought maybe was a foul ball, but wasn't, to Shales. So Bruno Matroni, cleanup batter for the Chiefs, up to the dish. And there's an inside rise ball from Steve Normand in for a strike. That's the pitch he's going to want, Joe.
Yeah.
Right in on the hands.
He's going to have to work that part of the plate. Hill United Chiefs batters are probably recognizing that already.
Out to short. Take a look. Ricevy fires to first for the second out. And boy, for a converted catcher, Joe, looks pretty good at shortstop. Hayden Hellier and
oh, you shortstops up in Georgian Bay.
yeah, you guys, you might have some competition. He looked pretty solid on that play. 2 down for Steve Normand and the Redmen. Quentin Bruce for the Chiefs to the plate. Had a whale of a day on Friday night in the second game. A couple of home runs, including a grand slam, 6 or 7 RBIs in that game. Consistently hitting the ball hard all weekend. Great to see for Team Canada. And that perspective, Joe Todd, is everybody building for the big 3 events here this year. The World Cup in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, starting July 8th. The ISC World Tournament starting July 26th in North Mankato, Minnesota. And then the World Games in Chengdu, China. That'll pick up about 5 days after the conclusion of the ISC World Tournament.
Bruce is really crowding the plate. Now, with first base open, is he unintentionally going to be very careful?
Wow, there's no prizes here in the Hill United Chiefs lineup. You go from the frying pan to the fire with Tony Gonzalez on deck. I don't know.
Well,
I hear you.
I would personally just set up the force play at any bag. Make it easy on your infielders.
I get you. And discretion might be the better part of valor here. And you don't give anything clean to Quentin Bruce, absolutely. There's one to the outside corner. Good pitch.
I think we'll see a lot out there, or a lot on the hands.
Well, you don't want to leave it down the middle if that's the alternative. You're right. Bruce is right on top of the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Those elbows are into the strike zone. On the outside corner again for a strike. Bruce, not quite so sure.
Well, he's right on top of the plate. And the plate's, 15 inches wide. Bat in his hand is 34 inches long. He's got 17 inches to play. 19 inches to play. My math is bad for Sunday morning.
I'm not even going to touch that one. Called strike 3, the outside corner. Quentin Bruce was headed to the dugout before Darryl Helmer could get the full word out of his mouth. So each pitcher works out of a jam here in the first. We're scoreless. We'll go to top of the second. Just getting underway here, semifinal action at the 2025 Chiefs Challenge.
The leadoff batter for the Ohsweken Redmen heading into the top of the second inning will be the third baseman, number 22, Cam Fess.
Oh, just made a real nice defensive play in the prior half inning and chases that drop ball down and fouls it off. I will confess, and that is pun intended, I am not familiar with Cam Fess. Do you know him at all?
Never heard of him.
Okay, well, he just made a nice play there at third base in the top.
He said he made a nice play yesterday.
Struggled a little bit, to be honest. at second base, although he came out of nowhere to make a catch in behind Mehdi Raisavi on a pop-up that was just reaching the grass. And Peter and I were astounded that it was Fess that made the catch and not Raisavi. Blows the rise ball right by him. 7, 8, 9 in the batting order for the Redmen here in the top of the second inning. Cam Fess, Riley Sear, Zach DeMille.
Gonzalez had 26 pitches in that first inning. He needs to less than that number.
Well, he takes care of Cam Fess pretty quickly.
Second strikeout for Gonzalez.
Riley Sear to the plate. Riley. By the time he got all the catcher's gear off, he's just making it to the plate now. That's how quickly and efficiently Gonzalez was in going after Cam Fess. That one misses downstairs from Martin Gonzalez. This little teal color, that the batting gloves of Riley Sear, this must be the new in color, Joe, because I've seen some of the arm sleeves and the three-quarter tees in that color. That must be the spring's hot color.
Yes.
I know you and I are the furthest thing possible from fashion plates, but I see some of the more currently colorfully adorned guys with this teal color. Seafoam green, maybe.
Good description, Blair.
Well, it was one of our corporate colors for a number of years prior to a acquisition. Off the outside corner from Martin Gonzalez. Looked real good in last year's WBSC regional qualifier up in Prince Albert, where the main event is going to be in about 3 weeks' time. He stepped in for Argentina in the absence of Roman Godoy and did a great job in helping to lead Argentina to victory in that qualifier. New Zealand second, Canada third. Now Canada's the host. Was an automatic entrant. It was critical for New Zealand in that qualifier, and Pitarona did a fabulous job for the Black Sox to make sure that they got the opportunity to compete for the World Cup. Just off the outside corner. Well, I can tell you, Joe, where I am aligned, it is right on the inside line of the left side batter's box, and that ball was right over that line. That's a great call by Darryl Helmer.
I think Gonzalez is just trying.
Called strike three. Got the corner that time.
Looks like we have to get these bats going. Both teams have to be aggressive at the plate.
Zach DeMille, the right fielder, the 9 batter for the Redmen. And Martin Gonzalez, Joe, always around the strike zone. Looks a little bit more crisp this inning.
Yes.
Right down Davis Avenue with that one. And on the outside corner, Bruno Matroni. Keep an eye on Bruno. That center field shot just gives you such a great vantage point, the viewer, of where Bruno sets up. He'll move in, he'll move out, and then watch where he catches the ball. That one is within the center of his mass. He's going to set up so that if he moves to the outside, his right knee is going to be outside the strike zone. If he's catching the ball over his right knee, it's likely not going to be a strike. But that's center mass, and it's right over the black of the plate. Great pitch, great location, and a great inning. Strikes out the side, does Martin Gonzalez. We'll go to the home half. Hill United Chiefs coming back to the plate.
catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, dream.
So Tony Gonzalez, Edgar Lopez, Alan Pecker, 7, 8, 9 in the batting order for the Hill United Chiefs. Tony Gonzalez hitting the ball well, Joe, but not always getting the base hits out of it. But Peter Labardius remarked yesterday he had more RBIs than he actually had number of hits. So when he's up and getting base hits, he's making them count. And that's exactly what you want. You want that clutch production. Little tapper, Normand will go get that, and the easy toss to first. And Chiefs have been aggressive, Joe, going after first pitches all weekend here. And Tony Gonzalez doing that, but just a tap out.
Yeah, just a real good. Gonzalez just loves to put the ball in play. You don't see him striking out very often.
Well, you talk about a guy yesterday who made a huge impact, and Edgar Lopez, nobody bigger in that game against the Northeast Drillers last evening. Scored the game's first run to tie it up. Well, not the game's first run, but the Chiefs' first run of the game, let's put it that way, to tie up the game after that Juan Zera home run in the third, and then drove in two with a smash to the fence to give the Chiefs the lead that they never relinquished.
Player of the day as selected by the Hill United Chiefs team.
Yeah, great graphic of him. And you made the remark, Edgar Lopez, Justin Schofield, separated at birth. Just saying.
Yeah.
Change up, and Lopez goes down and gets it and fouls that off to the screen.
Well, we have time. Happy birthday to the Hill United Chiefs first baseman, John Hill. Congratulations, John. Have a great day.
Indeed. I saw a great post from his son, Jason, of course, longtime player with the Chiefs, wishing his dad a happy birthday. The two of them, I'm going to guess it was Jason's wedding day, the two of them in tuxes, and a great shot.
Look sharp.
Yeah, really looked good. Great post, Jason Hill. This one is hit to center, going back, and can't get it, and caught up in the fence. And Lopez is going to dig for three, in sliding safe. And a triple for Edgar Lopez. Boy, that just kept going and going and going. Couldn't catch up with it out there was Jordy Gagnon, and then he got caught up in the fence.
Well, if you look at the trees in center field, the wind has picked up even in the last 5 minutes from when we started the game this morning.
I don't imagine that Lopez, Joe, hits a lot of triples, but he looked good with that one.
The ball carried. Gagnon didn't get a good read off the bat.
He may need an oxygen tank over there at third. Alan Pecker, 9-batter for the Chiefs. First pitch hit so hard that it's in and out of the glove of the second baseman, and Pecker is so quick that by the time he went and got that, Zach Green at second, it just ricocheted into short right. Alan Pecker was speeding by him and up to second base, and the Chiefs are on the board.
Green did a good job just getting his glove on that ball, slowing it down.
The ball gets on you so quick on this hard infield here. It's a stone dust infield. And we talked about that yesterday, Joe. You got to have your wits about you as an infielder here. Time at the plate as Normand and catcher Sear can't get on the same page. If I am Métis Ricevi and Zach Green over there at second base, I'm coming in 2-3 steps, because where they are, they're not going to get Nick White at first on a routine ground ball. Upstairs. Nobody at second base, so Pecker is just going to dare them. And then he'll slowly make his way as Green eventually gets over to cover the bag. But we saw a real heads-up base running from Pecker yesterday against Toronto, where the catcher went to ask for an appeal, nobody paying any attention, and Pecker just casually strolled over to third. Real heads-up play from a young ball player. In for a strike on the outside corner, and Green much quicker to second base this time to hold Pecker a little closer.
Normand doing a great job picking that outside corner of the plate. Really working that black part on the edge. You have to here.
This one well hit center field. Gagnon going back and watches it go. Nick White, a line drive home run to straightaway center field. A 2-run shot. The Hill United Chiefs now up 3-0. And Joe, if you're not going to bunt it 6 feet and beat it out, you might as well hit it 260 feet and jog around the bases.
Good turn of the hands by Nick White. Good, lots of power there. Good bat speed. Drilling that ball over that center field fence.
Pretty nice when your 8 and 9 batters can lead the team in RBIs. Pecker, an RBI double. Nick White, a 2 RBI home run. 3-0 Chiefs from the 7, 8, 9 guys in the order. And back to the top of the shop. Come on, fellas. You guys at the top. Let's see if you can contribute too. Shane Boland lifts this one up in the air to left. Settling under that is left fielder Travis Nevin. Boy, he's doing double, triple duty here, Joe. Playing left field, doing some pitching, batting leadoff. That's a lot to ask for a pitcher.
Doing a great job.
Doing a great job of it.
Big asset.
Indeed. Big asset, without a doubt. Brad Ezekiel walked, reached second. Fouls this one to the screen. Brad will be looking for somebody to turn the thermostat down here today. I think he and Justin Schofield, not used to playing in this kind of weather. Change up.
Oh, just missed. Normand wanted that pitch.
Yeah, I can see why. One ball, one strike to Ezekiel. Base is empty after that 2-run line drive home run by Nick White. That one misses downstairs. What a weapon off the bench Nick White is going to be for Canada at the World Cup. I don't know that there's too many catchers that are going to throw him out if he comes in to run. But boy, if he can come in and play and get a couple of pinch hit opportunities like that. Change up again from Normand back to back, but he can't get either of them dialed in. So 3-1 to Ezekiel.
Great to see some youth on that national team.
Well, it is, and they're going to need it because I looked at it yesterday with Peter Labardius, and we got to 9 guys who it's probably their last tour, including the guy at the plate who's now 37, 38 years old. In 4 years, is Bradley Ezekiel still going to be on the national? Could be. This one is hit out to center right, and that is going to be, he's going to turn on the Jets and leg it out for 3. And now going to make a break and think twice out of it. Bradley Ezekiel, a triple. I thought he was going to stop at second, Joe, and then he just turned on the afterburners and kept going.
Well, the ball was right in front of him as he made the turn. So.
Yeah, he was able to see it coming into second base. It's a little deceiving out there, I got to be honest. I was unsure whether or not that had cleared the fence. It's just a temporary breakaway fence, and
if anything, I thought it bounced over. It's very tough to see.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. We've been fooled a couple of times here over the weekend. But anyway, Brad Ezekiel in with a triple. Nick Shales Hit a hard one hopper to Cam Fess, who made a nice play on it, and he'll have to check Bradley Ezekiel again. The two of them, who are lookalikes for what it's worth, are over there having a grand old conversation at the 3-bag. Couple of redheads, Joe. They're probably talking about what factor sunblock they've got on, like 10 million. Inside to Nick Shales.
Nice pitch on the hands by Normand.
Well, he's falling behind a lot of the batters right now, Joe. He's kind of nibbling again. And worked inside again.
He's at 39 pitches so far in the second inning.
And ball 4, that one on the outside, but too low. So Nick Shales aboard with a walk. 2-out walk. Bruno ground ball to Ricevi out at short, an inning earlier.
Darryl Helmer was repositioning Kevin Wallace on the 3-man system.
That doesn't happen often. Kevin Wallace, great mechanics. Just misses off the outside corner. Shales a big lead off of first. He and Ryan Davis are having a great conversation over there at first, too. In tight to Bruno, and the last thing Bruno wants to see is anything in tight and close to the hands after he got clipped yesterday. Riley Sear wiping away some of the sweat off his brow. I talked to Kevin Wallace in between games yesterday, Joe, and he said at home plate, you're not getting the breeze. It's going to be quite warm out there today, very toasty. Off the leg of Sear, can't find it. Shales goes all the way from first to third on the wild pitch.
Good base running by Shales. Take advantage of that situation.
Well, it hit Sear on the leg, and then it kicked way over down the first base side. So 3-0 to Bruno Matroni, and pretty good first, but it's gone a little sour here for Normand in the second. The Chiefs 4 and counting.
4 extra base hits this inning, plus a walk.
And that one, forget about it, Joe. Wow. Way back and gone to left field, up the hill, over the perimeter fence. Bruno Matroni, rather, hits it a mile.
Big, powerful upper body strength there, driving that ball over that left field fence. Just got too much of the plate.
A moonshot of a 2-run home run for Bruno Matroni. Nine batter of the inning in the form of Quentin Bruce to the plate. And ball coming back in from left field. There are some eager young Simcoe players out there, Joe, who went and got that ball.
I don't know how they're going to get their quarter way out there, though.
I don't know. Somebody's going to have to e-transfer it to them out there. Venmo, maybe. So base is empty now for Quentin Bruce after that 2-run home run by Bruno Matroni. And this one out to left, but settling. And aboard with the base hit is Quentin Bruce. Boy, they're not wasting any time jumping on first, second pitches.
Very aggressive.
So Tony Gonzalez, who tapped out to Steve Normand at the beginning of this inning about 25 minutes ago, Joe, or it feels like it at least. He gets his second at bat of the inning. Tony tapped out, but Edgar Lopez got things rolling with a triple. Then Pecker, White, Shane Boland flied out, but Brad Ezekiel a triple, Nick Shales a walk, Bruno Matroni a massive 2-run home run. This one downstairs and off the pad of Riley Seard out in front. Quentin Bruce up to second base. 6 and counting for the Chiefs here in the second inning.
Been a long inning, especially with this heat out in that field. So important to make sure you get lots of fluids in these kind of days.
3-0 and falling behind again. And Joe, they consistently tried to work into the righties, but he just hasn't been able to find the range in there. Like, you got to change it up. And again, inside, ball 4. Just can't keep doing the same thing.
3 walks so far issued by Steve Normand. Coach Darrell Anderson has called time.
Yeah, they may have somebody working out of sight from us, but this just looks like he's trying to buy time for Steve Normand. Settle everybody down. Still 1-0 Toronto Batmen over in the top of the third in the second semifinal. The winner of that game will come over here, and should things stay like they are, we'll play the Chiefs. Championship game scheduled for a 1 p.m. Eastern start time. Try and get as close to that as possible without going over. Price is Right rules.
Just getting his glove now, and he's going in the game, I believe.
Well, Normand is looking at his pitching hand coming off, and I wonder, Joe, if he developed a blister or something as he goes up. Darryl Helmer in conversation with his fellow Albertan. We'll take a break as Adam Buckner on in relief. Edgar Lopez steps in to face Adam Buckner, the young Czechian pitcher. First pitch swinging, fouled out of play off the bat of Lopez. Already this inning, Joe, a triple and a run scored. Came in on the RBI double off the bat of Alan Pecker. Change up, well hit to deep right field. Back, and at the fence, making the grab
Zach DeMille.
is Zach DeMille. So Buckner does the job and gets Lopez on a long, long fly ball. But the Hill United Chiefs score 6 through 2 complete. They'll take that lead into the third.
To start off the top of the third inning for the Ohsweken Redmen. We go back up to the top of the order to the left fielder, Travis Nevin.
And Joe, a raft of changes here for the Hill United Chiefs. Defensively, they now look like this. Quentin Bruce in left, Nick White in center, Alan Pecker still in right. Blake Hunter is in at third. Tony Gonzalez moves over to short. Kyle Ezekle's in at second. Lopez stays at first. And Lucci Biondi, little one hopper, and do you call him out? Safe?
I think he said safe. Well, he didn't make a call, so that means safe.
Well, no, you still have to make a call.
I don't think he did make a call.
Well, he ran into Kyle Ezekle, I think, too, but beating it out, and I think the consensus was he beat it out. So Travis Nevin aboard on the little chopper in front of the plate.
Second hit for Nevin.
He's 2 for 2. Good call, good note. Zach Green, who had a bunt single, turns and squares. I'm going to try it again. Hunter was charging in from third. Lopez from first as well. Zach Green showed some good wheels back in the first inning and some ability to put some English on the ball with the bunt, intentional or otherwise. In for a strike. You heard Daryl Helmer. It's 0-2 on Zach Green, the 2-batter in the Redmond order. Pulled to Lopez, turns down to 2 for 1, back to first and safe. And Zach Green beats out that double play attempt. Tony Gonzalez coming across the bag at second, Joe, and throwing a seed to first.
But a great play by Lopez to pick that ball up and just turn and fire to second base to cut down that lead runner.
It's not an easy play to turn your body and throw a good location, a good spot for your shortstop coming across the bag. It's not an easy play. Meitu Raisavi to face Gonzalez now. Raisavi walked back in the first. The Redmen loaded the bases, you'll recall, with nobody out, and Gonzalez worked around it then. Joe, I like the move by Jeff Ellsworth and the coaching staff for the Chiefs to get a lot of the starters off the diamond. 6-0 lead. They're in pretty good shape at the moment.
Especially with this heat.
And get them off the diamond and into the dugout, into the shade, get some more fluids into them, as you said earlier, and be a little bit rested for a 1 o'clock game, potential 1 o'clock game. Great play by Hunter to Ezekiel to Lopez. 5 to 4 to 3, and call it 2.
Just a great play by the infield, all around.
Nothing Batman.
Lead off the bottom of the third inning for the Hill United Chiefs. We go to Alan Pecker.
He's still in the game, I believe, isn't he?
Pecker and White. Pecker
White.
stayed in right field. White was the DP. He's now out in center. They're young. They can withstand the heat. It's the,
the old guys.
It's the old guys, and they'll love us referring to them as the old guys going to the bench to get out of the heat.
Senior staff.
The elder statesman of the game.
Yes.
Let's call them that. But these guys here at the bottom, Pecker and White, two of the fastest guys in the game. And now that Biondi is in, you can add him to that count as well. So Adam Buckner, who came on and got Edgar Lopez to fly out to deep right field to end a 6-run uprising in the second for the Chiefs, will face Alan Pecker. And took something off that one right away, Joe, coming in with the changeup to start.
Yep.
And just at the top of the zone, says Daryl Helmer.
If you're going to throw that for changeup, it's got to be a strike.
Downstairs and already falling behind. And 3-0. Pecker hasn't had to swing the bat yet. Joe, 2-0 now for the Toronto Batmen. That one is in the bottom of the third. The Drillers at the plate as the higher seed, and 4-0, a 4-pitch walk to Alan Pecker. Joe, how often do leadoff walks come around to score?
2/3 of the time, 66%.
2/3 of the time. It could be even more the way Nick White is batting this season. 2-run home run in the second inning. Inside from Buckner. Cam Fess he's retreating now, but he's going to come back again. He was in 7-8 steps from the bag at third. Davis a little further back, and now coming in a couple of steps at first. On the move is Pecker. And Riley Sear just said there's no point throwing because he is so far down the line, I'm never going to get him. He just put it in his back pocket. Uncontested stolen base for Alan Pecker. Boy, Nick White gets the bat through the zone so quick. That pitch was up at the letters, and he yanked that foul down the right side.
Good quick hands.
1 ball, 2 strikes to White, the youngster from Nova Scotia. Great feature on Nick White on the ISC website, and you'll find it if you scroll down on ISC Fast Pitch social media pages. Métis Ricevi has also been featured in those. Brian Aratis, our communication specialist, doing a great job with these player profiles over the course of the last couple of months, and there's more coming on those all the way up to the World Tournament.
Good morning, Brian. I'm sure you're watching.
Goes down and gets it, but that's a foul ball. Just Ryan Davis got the glove just on the other side of the line. Two balls, 2 strikes. And chases one out of the zone on the outside. Nick White down on strikes. Good pitch location by Adam Buckner to get the 9 batter.
Good change of speeds there. Good sequencing of pitches.
Kyle Ezekiel, who has gone in for Shane Boland. We had the defensive changes. We didn't quite get where they all went in the order, so we'll catch you up as we go. But Kyle Ezekiel. Old school, no batting gloves. Way upstairs. Kyle, the youngest of the 3 Ezekiels. Bradley's in the middle. Older brother Blair will be with the Bar Buzz this year. It's like full circle for Blair Ezekiel. Back to the Bar of Appleton. And this one is well hit out to left. Coming across is Travis Nevin to make the catch on the run. Tagging. And up to third goes Alan Pecker. That's a good running catch out there by Travis Nevin. Not a lot of pitchers can play the outfield that well. I'll tell you that, Joe Todd.
Well, he hit it extremely well off the bat. That's what you have to get that first step.
Bradley Ezekiel still in the game, so effectively becoming the designated player. Change-up, spins in for a strike. Fess, who's chatty with everybody, Joe Todd, he's over there talking to Pecker. I don't know how much English Alan speaks. Not a lot. So that might be a bit of a one-sided conversation. On the ground, foul. Bradley, a walk in the first, and then a triple and a run scored in the second. Misses upstairs, so 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brad Ezekiel. Shakes one and gets a sign that he likes. And again, this one is up in the zone and off the plate as well. Evens the count at 2. Came in on the hands, jammed him, but he fouls that out of play over the right side. Good pitch from Buckner. Not a lot that you're going to be able to do with that pitch in on the hands.
No, he just trying deliberately to tie up the hands. Make sure you can get out of a good quick inning here.
Ball 3, so from 0-2 to full count. Bradley Ezekiel, I think you would classify that, Joe, as a quality at bat.
Yes. Working the pitcher. Seen quite a few pitches now.
Misses downstairs. Ball 4. Patience is a virtue. And Brad Ezekiel doesn't need to chase out of the zone. Blake Hunter, another guy who will be on Team Canada at the World Cup coming up in 2-3 weeks.
Well, his versatility is what be attractive to the coaching staff.
Well, and his ability to hit the ball a mile and a half probably
that,
doesn't hurt.
That too.
Yeah. But you're absolutely right. He will probably do some catching. He will play some third. He will likely do some designated player duty. Brian Avery and he, I'm suspecting, Joe, will be flip sides of the same coin. If one's catching, the other one's probably at third. Fouled out of play. Oh, and 2 to Hunter. And goes down and gets this one and just punches it over the head of Raicevic short. Pecker will trot in to score the game's 7th run for the Chiefs. Bradley Ezekiel will go on up to second base. And Joe, he went down and got that like it was a 9-iron.
He said, I don't want to take the walk. I'm going to hit the ball.
So Luciano Biondi. We're going with full names here this weekend. So Luciano Biondi. I never thought I'd see the day when there were 2 Lucianos around, but here we are. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's a beautiful name.
The boss adjusting the radar gun. You'll see the speed on the little score bug at the bottom.
Then this one is punched out to right. Making the grab out there in right field is Zach DeMille for the final out of the inning. The Chiefs add one more. They get it to that magical 7 spot. We'll go to the top of the 4th. The Redmen looking to get on the board.
How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business.
Designated player Mike Root, Ryan Davis, and Jordy Gagnon. 4, 5, 6 in the order for the Oswegan Redmen as we will get going here in the top of the 4th inning. Joe Todd. Bruno Matroni with a little Godfather 3 moment, having to come out and warm up Martin Gonzalez, waiting for Luciano Biondi. Just when you think I'm out, they pull me right back in. Had to put on the goalie mask and come out and do the warm-up catching. I'm sure Bruno would have thought he'd have had a nice comfy spot in the shade over there in the dugout.
But a good team guy doing his job.
Good inside drop ball from Martin Gonzalez to get a strike on the board against Mike Root.
If you're not sure, down and in always works.
Down and in, down and out. Well, and there is a 42.5 footer right into the shin of Luciano Bionde. I'm sure he wasn't thrilled about that, but he's got lots of gear on. On the outside corner, a good pitch to run the count full.
Root has to be good and aggressive. Got caught looking at a third strike back in the first inning.
And there's ball 4. Ryan Davis playing first base today. He was over at third yesterday, and it was a tough game for the infield that we saw from Oswegan. 5 errors in 1 inning. They let a game get away from them.
Just a quick story, Blair. Ryan Davis has hit the longest ball I think I've ever seen. If you ever played at St. Clement's Diamond, the lower diamond there,
I have.
he hit it against the wall of the arena up high in the hill. It hit the wall of the arena. I'm thinking that had to go close to 300.
Well, I've seen a couple guys get onto the roof, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Shane Boland put up one up there back in 2016.
Oh, wow.
But it's a poke. Like,
yeah.
Nothing against Ryan Davis.
No.
He hits the ball. You're
yeah,
absolutely right. He hits the ball a mile when he gets into one.
Good dual athlete. Great hockey player, too.
Yep. And Gonzalez, ability to find the strike zone challenged here in the top of the 4th inning. Back-to-back walks. Biondi, Kyle Ezekiel, Lopez. Hunter's thinking about going in, but he's been distracted by umpire Daryl Helmer, and now here comes Jeff and Craig from the dugout. Craig, the trainer.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
You're drawing a blank
yeah.
too? Yeah, we're both getting old.
Yeah. Got timeout.
Well, we'll let them deal with that on the field.
Sure. Gonzalez has got 56 pitches so far in the game.
Back to the dugout go Jeff and Craig without a last name. Sorry, Craig. I don't have it in front of me, and I am apparently early onset of dementia and drawing a blank.
Sunday morning blues.
Big cut by Jordy Gagnon. Gave one a ride, Joe, with 2 out with the bases loaded back in the 1st inning, but Quentin Bruce tracked it down. Missing downstairs. Gonzalez just needs to get dialed back in a little bit here, Joe. He's
missing the plate.
Not missing closely
no.
either. He's missing considerably. Shane Boland steps on a bag, or that's Tony Gonzalez now. Shane Boland by force of habit there, but Tony Gonzalez is over at short and gets the force at second base. So Davis is erased, 6 unassisted. Has come up for Cam Fess in this spot here.
Fair ball.
That's a fair ball just down the first baseline, and Mike Root comes around to score for Oswego, draws a big cheer from the dugout. Well, he couldn't have walked out there and dropped that any closer to the line than what that was.
Hit it where they're not.
He and Lopez are having a little chuckle about that. In for a strike. Riley Sear. That's not Riley Sear, so they've made some substitutions too, which
Yes.
we didn't get. 87 for Oswego. Have you got that on your lineup cards? Mike Willis, who's done some catching duty this weekend for the Redmen, and pulls that one foul. Thank you to Peter Labardius, who has every jersey number of every player here memorized. The Jimmy Olsen of the crew.
Craig Lyons.
Craig Lyons. Okay, I wanted to go with Lyons, but I
Yeah.
didn't think it was. So
Yep.
second guessing myself. Thank you. Joe Todd looking that up while we're trying to keep up with what's going on. Willis down on strikes.
Jeff's younger brother.
And for those who didn't get the pop culture reference, Jimmy Olsen is Superman's best friend who works at the Daily Planet with Clark Kent.
That went whoosh right over.
Like Superman flying overhead.
You obviously got more sleep than I did.
So another pinch hitter. This is Josh Martin for Oswego. So Daryl Anderson is emptying the bench as well. I just heard a big cheer go up on the other diamond, Joe. We'll see it come up in Game Changer in a couple of minutes as to what's going on over there. I'm going to guess that Juan Zera has done something special for the Drillers. It's currently 2-0 Batmen. We'll see what happens on Game Changer momentarily. We'll keep you up to date. We'll keep our eyes on this one here. As Martin hits a little bleeder, Hunter comes across and slings it to Lopez at first to get Josh Martin. The Chiefs give up one. It's 7-1. We'll go to the home half of the fourth. Can the Redmen shut the door? Stay tuned to find out.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that, a fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit. A full complement of staff on hand include chiropractic, massage, and personal training to get you back to your healthy self. Find them on the web at livewellforlifeinc.com or give Live Well for Life, a proud sponsor of the broadcast program.
Well, here's what happened with that big cheer on the other semifinal game. Juan Zera hit an RBI double, and it's now 2-1 for the Toronto Batmen over the Northeast Drillers. That game is in the bottom of the fourth inning, much like ours here. Quentin Bruce, his third at bat of the game, in the bottom of the fourth inning. Quentin singled, reached second back in the second inning. Cam Fest goes back to third base, and Zach DeMille goes back out to right field, and Mike Willis stays in the game catching. So 2 of the 3 substitutions stuck. Bruce. And see ya later. Way later. My goodness, Joe, that one was hammered out to center right field. They get that run back in a hurry.
Yes, extremely fast. Get that ball up in the letters to Quinn Bruce, and it's going out of the park.
There have been a couple of no-doubters here this weekend. That one was as no doubt as any of them.
That was a clothesline.
Wow. Up into the trees in right center field. If he'd have been over 15 feet, he'd have sent a whole bunch of people scattering because there's a community up there in the trees watching the ball game in the shade. Tony Gonzalez to the plate.
2-2 now at the Northeast Batman game.
Gonzo Mosmu looks like he's hit a triple to score Juan Zera. Tyler Randerson and Huemo Mata, speaking much. Huemo Mata pitching in that one. Randerson and Mata. In for a strike, Tony Gonzalez taking all the way. Relatively quiet for Tony, Joe. Tapped out to Steve Normand back in the second inning, and then a walk, and that was the last batter that Normand faced. But this one is lifted up to center field. It's up in the jet stream, and Jordy Gagnon is going to...
Home run.
That's a home run. It went off the glove of Gagnon as he got tangled up with the fence. And a home run for Tony Gonzalez.
Good attempt there by Jordy Gagnon. Just about tracked it down.
He went a
just
long
ran out of
way
space.
to try and go get it. You see it here. And gets tangled up in the fence there. And off the glove and out. A good effort indeed by Jordy Gagnon. But Tony Gonzalez, back-to-back solo shots by the Chiefs here in the fourth. And they reestablish that lead.
4 home runs put on the board this morning by the Hill United Chiefs.
It's been an offensive onslaught by Hill United here this weekend. That one is foul, out of play. But just as importantly for the Chiefs, and maybe, Joe, even more importantly for the Chiefs, the pitching has been rock solid this weekend. They've only given up, I think, 3 runs in total, never more than 1 in a game. No, 2. Sorry, last night against the Drillers. The Drillers got 2. But I think they only gave up 1 or 2 in the entire round robin.
Very important to play both sides of the diamond, offense and defense.
Well, and that was the criticism coming out of the weekend prior, that the pitching just hadn't been able to do the job. 24 runs or 26 runs against a weekend ago. Less than 5 here, fewer than 5 this week.
Great improvement.
5 bang on. There we go. Thank you to Peter Labardius. A new kind of in the neighborhood at 5. Big cut by Edgar Lopez. Call to strike the outside corner. Lopez can't get the bat off the shoulder, and I think that's a bit of a 9-1 call,
Yeah,
Joe.
I think so.
You better swing the bat when you're up 9-1. Don't be looking for freebies.
Terrell's called that outside corner a lot
He's been
all game.
very consistent out there. Alan Pecker, 2 runs scored, a double, an RBI, stolen base, a walk. Boy, that's a weekend for a lot of people. Just 2 innings, 2 at-bats for Alan Pecker. Oh, up and in, and he got the bat on it. And Fess had a shot at it, but he came a long way from third base, about 64 feet into foul territory.
Good
but
hustle.
just couldn't make the grab. In a 9-1 ball game that you're trailing, that's some great hustle there from Cam Fess to almost make that play.
Great jump on the ball. Read it extremely well off the bat.
Wouldn't that have been something? Trying to bail out of the way, and it deflects off the bat in self-defense, and then you almost popped out in foul territory. You can see the back of Alan Pecker's jersey. It's white from where he hit the deck.
Good arm by Daryl Helmer. Take it back to the plate there. Good gun.
Those umpires are always looking for an opportunity to show off.
Yeah, yeah.
2-2 to Pecker, and fouls that one off out of play. And he has run us out of balls. Joe, the Drillers took the lead in the bottom of the fourth, and it's now on into the top of the fifth in the other semifinal. 3-2 for the Drillers. Toronto Batmen always competitive on Sunday. So do this one again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Adam Buckner out on the board for the Redmen. Alan Pecker lifts this one up to deep center field, and that one is not going to come back either. Way back into the trees. That's halfway to the McDonald's in Simcoe as it goes over the sign.
The third home run by the Hill United Chiefs this inning.
Joe, when we get the replay, watch where he goes down to get this one. Look at this. Way down in the ground, hits a 9-iron, and right out of the park.
Mm-hmm. Good strength in the hands there. Good turn.
Daryl Anderson out to make another pitching change, I think. He's got Mike Root warming up in the bullpen. Root came on in relief twice on Friday night. Five home runs in the morning for Hill United. Well, we're into the afternoon now. But 5 home runs in the game for the Chiefs. 3 in the inning. All solo bombs. None of them short. Joe, just a defensive change there for the Redmen. If you've got your roster there, number 20 has come in at first. Look at that one for you as Nick White fouls this one off, and Nick's a candidate to take the ball out of the yard at any opportunity too.
Jared Garlow.
White laces this one foul down the right side. Jared Garland.
Garlow.
Thank you.
Jared Garlow.
Ryan Davis came out of the game. Way up in the air, and the ball, as it often does to new guys to the game, finds you immediately. Garlow makes the grab. It's funny how the game works.
Yes. Almost like little magnets in the ball.
First pitch, Kyle Ezekiel. Gets it past a diving Métis Reisavi, and Kyle Ezekiel is aboard with his first hit of the game. Brad Ezekiel, who has retreated to the bench and effectively the designated player at this point. the outside corner. Not a bad gig if you can get it, Joe.
Yes.
Just come to the park and hit. I mean, Bradley is so good on the defensive side of the games, but I'm sure he's enjoying the opportunity to get a bit of a breather. He'll be starting out in center. This one is going to be punched out. That'll get some grass. Ezekiel will jog coast to coast and ahead of his older sibling.
One more hit, one more run, and this game could be over. The run differential rule will step in.
It's 10-4, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. So you are indeed correct. Blake Hunter, who had an RBI an inning ago, an opportunity to end this one early. Upstairs to Hunter. Blake came in Nick Shale's spot. Nick was 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Blake singled an inning ago and picked up an RBI.
Good pitch there by Buckner. Good roller-rise ball.
And that's outside. I love the fact that he and Ricevi have come down to play for Oswego and what is otherwise a weekend off for the Georgian Bay Giants. They'll be back next week at the Hallman tournament in Kitchener. This one is punched out to center right. Nobody's going to get to that.
No.
Kyle Ezekiel will come in and score, and that's the ball game as Blake Hunter picks up another RBI. And on the 10-run rule differential, the Hill United Chiefs will make it to the final again of their own Chiefs Challenge. A dominating, thoroughly complete effort here from the Chiefs. For my broadcast partner, Joe Todd, Peter Labardius, I'm Blair Setford signing off. I'm going to turn it over to Peter and Joe for the championship game. You're going to be in great hands. It'll be the Chiefs, and to be determined, Northeast Drillers currently leading 3-2. Come back with us around 1:15 for the championship of the Chiefs Challenge right here on Softball Premier TV.
For the latest in softball innovation, where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball. On demand, so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.